All right, we're going to be adding rational expressions. In order to add two fractions, the denominators have to be the same. So in this case, they are both divided by z plus 1. So we add the numerators. 7 plus 5 is 12 over z plus 1. That one is super simple. Okay. All right. What is the least common multiple of 9c squared and 6c to the fifth? Anytime you want a common multiple, you could just multiply them together. So that is 54c to the sixth. So 54c to the sixth has 9c squared as a factor and 6c to the fourth as a factor. However, is there a smaller number that also has those as factors? Well, do I need a c to the sixth? No. What is the smallest multiple of c that I could use that has c squared and c to the fourth as a factor? C to the fourth. So that is large enough. And when I say large enough, if I had 5 and 6, and I multiply those together and I get 30, is there a multiple of 5 that is also a multiple of 6 that is smaller than 30? Well, let's go through the 6's. So 6 plus 6 is 12. 5 doesn't go into that. Plus 6 is 18. 5 doesn't go into that. Plus 6 is 24. Plus 6 is 30. So that's the smallest possible one. Well, what if I had 6 times, let's say 6 and 15. So that's, multiply those together, and I get 90. Is there a smaller number that 6 and 15 both go into? Well, should I add 6's together or should I add the 15's together? It's easier to do the 15's. So let's look at it. So the first one is 15. Does 6 go into 15? No. What about 30? Yes. So the least common multiple of 6 and 15 is 30. How are we going to figure that out without just adding 15's together? Well, let's look at the makeup of 6 and 15. 6 is a 2 times a 3, and 15 is a 3 times a 5. Okay? So my least common multiple has to have a 2. It also has to have a 3. Does it need 2 3's? No. So I don't need to worry about this one because it's covered over here. And it also needs a 5. 2 times 3 times 5 is 30. All right, so let's do one that's a little bit harder. Let's say 12 and 18. Okay. So let's add the 18's. 18 plus 18 is 36. Does 12 go into 36? Yeah, that's my answer. So let's look at the makeup of 12 and 18. 2 times 2 times 3, and 2 times 3 times 3. So what will my least common multiple have? It has to have 2's. How many 2's? Well, this one has a single 2, and this one has a pair of 2's. Let's look at 36. 36 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. So how do we select the factors for our least common multiple? We look at each factor and we select the largest set. This is 7.2. So looking at this, the largest set is a pair of 2's. When I look at 3's, the largest set is a pair of 3's. Okay, that is the exact opposite of greatest common factor. when we did greatest common factor, we circled what they had in common. So this one has a 2 in common, and this one has a 3 in common. So the greatest common factor is a 6. Greatest common factor means what is the largest number that goes into 12 and into 18? The answer is 6. Least common multiple is the smallest number that has both 12 and 18 as a factor. So when you're doing greatest common factor, you circle what they have in common. When you're doing common multiple, you circle the largest set of each factor. So let's do another one. Let's do something hard like 24 and 30. I don't know my 24 times tables. So I could do 30 plus 30 plus 30 and divide each of those answers by 24 and find out which one works. The easier way is to break this down. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And this one is 2 times 3 times 5. So what goes in my least common multiple? Well, I need 2's. How many 2's do I need? 3 of them. I need 3's. How many 3's do I need? Either one, right? They're the same on both sides, so I'll circle this one. And I also need a 5. So that's going to be 8 times 3 is 24 times 5, which is 125 minus 5 is 120. That is the least common multiple. Do you guys understand how that works? For each factor, you select the largest set. And if the sets are the same on both sides, you just pick one or the other. So over here, the least common multiple I need 2's. A single 2 will do. I need 3's. A double, a pair of 3's. And I need C's. So that's going to be 9 times 2 is 18 C to the 4th. And then we probably should ask, does this divide into that evenly? If I do 18C to the 4th and I divide it by 9C squared, do I get a fraction? No. So that worked. Okay, what about this one? If I do 18C to the 4th divided by 6C to the 4th, do I get a fraction? No, it worked. All right, so let's try a new one. So we have 3 times 5 times W and 2 times 2 times 3 times W, W, W. So I need a pair of 2's. I need a 3. I need a 5. And I need 3 W's. So that's 4 times 15, which is 60 W to the 3rd. Does that make sense? All right. Well, if you get that, why don't we make it harder? All right. Denominators match. B and 3 are not like terms, so it's just B plus 3 over B squared plus 8B plus 15. However, the denominator probably factors. So that is B plus 3 over two numbers that multiply to be 15 and add to be 8. What are they? So B plus 5 and B plus 3. And now the B plus 3's cancel, and I'm left with 1 over B plus 5. Do you want to see another one of those? Okay, let's do a second one. Oh, good. I'm glad we did another one. So B squared minus 2B minus 3 over b squared plus 2b plus 1. The top becomes b minus 3 and b plus 1. And the bottom becomes b plus 1 and b plus 1. Everybody good with that? Does anything cancel? One of the b plus 1s cancel. And the answer is b minus 3 over b plus 1. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. Least common multiple. 2 times 2 times 3, and 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So I need all of the 2's, 2 to the 4th, and a 3. And how many u's do I need? The largest set of u's would be u to the 4th, and the largest set of v's is v to the 3rd, and the largest set of w's is w to the 7th. So that's going to be 16 times 3, which I believe is 48. W to the 4th, v to the 3rd. Oh, no, that's u to the 4th and w to the 7th. Okay. So this has to have a common denominator. The common denominator is going to be the least common multiple. So we need to figure out what that is. This is 3 times 3 v y to the 3rd. And this one is 3v squared y. So what will be in my common denominator? A pair of 3's. So 3 times 3. 3 v's, v to the 3rd, and a y. Do you guys understand that? Okay, now we have to alter each of these fractions according to what it's missing. So what does this have that that does not have? Nothing, right? Everything's there. So I don't need to change the first one. Okay. What does this have that that does not have? Oh, I lied. A v, huh? This one lacks a v. So I need to times the bottom by v. But if I times the denominator by v, I change the value of the fraction. So I also put a v on the top, and that way I'm just multiplying by 1, and that doesn't change its value. Okay? All right? What does this have that that does not have? What's missing? Well, it's missing a 3, and it's missing... Oh, I wrote that wrong. This should be... I'm sorry, guys. V squared y to the 3rd. Okay, so this is missing a 3 and a y squared. Okay, so this becomes 7v over 9v squared y to the 3rd minus, this becomes 6y squared over 9v squared y to the 3rd. Now they have a common denominator. 7v minus 6y squared over 9v squared y to the 3rd. And now I need to check to see if it factors. Does this factor? Do 7v and negative 6y squared have anything in common? No. So that's as far as it'll go. Okay, we're going to do a couple of these. So my common denominator needs to be 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Maybe I should write this out for you. 3 times 3, v, w, and 2 times 2, v, w. So my common denominator has to have a pair of 2's, a pair of 3's, 3 v's, and 2 w's. Okay? So, what does this fraction lack? A pair of 2's, which is a 4. So I'm going to multiply this side by 4 over 4. Okay? What does this fraction need? Well, it has the 2's and one of the v's and one of the w's. So it's going to need a 9 and 2 v's and 1 w. Okay? So 9v squared w. And now I can just write it all over. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12, times 3 is 36. 36 v to the third w squared. And the top becomes negative 28 plus 27 v squared w. Okay. Now looking at the numerator, is there anything common between those two terms? No. So we can't simplify that any farther. One more. So this is 3 wxx, 3 wwx. So my common denominator is going to be 3 times w squared times x squared. So what does the left side need? Just the w. So w over w. What does the right side need? It has a 3, has a single w, no, it has 2 w's, and a single x. So it needs the remaining 3 and the remaining x. So 3x over 3x. So my common denominator is 9w squared x squared. And the numerator is negative 2w, and there's a minus here, so minus 15x. Do these have anything in common? No. So we can't simplify. What if it said that negative 2w minus 15wx? So I pull that w out, so I can pull this out. So w times negative 2 minus 15x over 9w squared x squared. And now this w will get rid of one of those w's. So that would be the final answer. So at the end, you always need to check to see if it simplifies. Ooh, oh, this is ugly. Okay, let's just focus on the top. Okay, what will my common denominator be? 5u. So this needs a 5u over 5u. And that's going to give me 1 minus 15u over 5u. Everybody understand that? Okay. Now let's look at the denominator. This needs a 5u over 5u. So the denominator becomes 10u plus 1 over 5u. And how do we divide two fractions? You flip the bottom one upside down and multiply. So 5u over 10u plus 1. The 5u's cancel. And I get 1 minus 15u over 10u plus 1. Or, if you preferred, 1 plus 10u. Can I cancel anything there? No. If you're going to cancel something in an addition or subtraction, it either all goes or none of it goes. So we can't cancel the ones and pull a 5 out of there. That doesn't work. It's either all of it or none of it. Okay. So we need to treat this as its own factor. Does 5x minus 6 factor any farther? No. That's as far as it goes. Okay. Can 7x factor any farther? No. That's as far as it goes. So my common denominator is going to be 5x minus 6 times 7x. So we're treating this like the letter, the variable a, and this one is b. My common denominator is just going to be a times b. Okay. Well, if that's my common denominator, 5x minus 6 and 7x, what does this fraction need that the common denominator has? It needs a 7x. So I put 7x over 7x. And this one needs a 5x minus 6 over 5x minus 6. It's a little bit tricky. So this becomes 7x squared minus, this becomes, so x minus 1 times 5x minus 6. That is 5x squared, and that is negative 6x. This is negative 5x, and this is plus 6. So that is 5x squared minus 11x plus 6. However, in the middle we have a subtraction. So we need to subtract all of those. So negative 5x squared plus 11x minus 6. Okay, we're going to simplify that down. So 2x squared plus 11x minus 6 over 5x minus 6 and 7x. Okay, but I need to check, does this factor? Well, I need a box to factor that one. So 2x squared, negative 6. Multiply those together. Negative 12x squared. So we have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Can we make an 11x out of one of those? Yes. 12x and negative x. So we pull out a 2, 2x, which would be x plus 6, and this would be minus 1. So it becomes 2x minus 1 times x plus 6 over 5x minus 6 and 7x. Does anything cancel? No, it doesn't. So I did all that for nothing. Let's do another one. Okay. My common denominator will be 5x minus 6 and 6x. All right. So this side needs a 6x over 6x, and this side needs a 5x minus 6 over 5x minus 6. So on the left, I get 6x squared. And on the right, x plus 3, 5x minus 6. So that is 5x squared. This is going to give me negative 6, and this is going to give me plus 15. 15 minus 6 is plus 9x minus 18. But there's a subtraction, so I need to switch the signs of all of those. So minus 5x squared minus 9x plus 18. So that gives me x squared minus 9x plus 18 over 5x minus 6 and 6x. Does the top factor two numbers that multiply to be 18 that add to be negative 9? That would be x minus 6 and x minus 3 over 5x minus 6 and 6x. And then nothing simplifies. Okay? Wonder how they... I'm interested to see what they put. Yeah. So they want it in factored form. So they do want you to factor all the way, even if it doesn't cancel. All right. What is my common denominator here? Well, 2, 2, 2, B, 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 K, 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 and 2 times 3, C, 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 K. So my common denominator needs 3 2's. So 2 times 2 times 2. A 3, 3 B's, 3 C's, and a K. All right. So what does this need? A 3 and a C to the third. So 3C to the third over 3C to the third. What does this need? A pair of 2's, so a 4. So 4 over 4. It has all the C's, but it needs a B to the third, and it also needs a K squared. So on the left side, 3 times 3 is 9. C to the third W plus the right side, I get 20 B to the fifth V K squared. Does anything come out of the top? No. So 9C to the third W plus 20 B to the fifth VK squared over, that's 8 times 3, 24 B to the third C to the third K. All right. That's 9.2. Get to work.